We spent a lot of time on this show so far talking about non-working royals and the family drama and TV shows. Could we spend a bit of time talking about what the royals have actually been doing this week? Princess of Wales, she released a statement on Monday for, I think it was Addiction Awareness Week. She's getting herself into some quite strong topics. She isn't just someone who just turns up and shakes hands and smiles. She's actually facing up and actually doing some good things, Elsa.
Absolutely. But I think she's done that from the get-go, really. You know, she took her time choosing which charities and patronages she wanted to champion. And then she really, you know, she wasn't just a figurehead. She wasn't just a name on the top of a letter. You know, she wanted to get involved. She wanted to meet people privately. She wanted to converse with them. She wanted to have an in-depth knowledge about the organisations that she was going to champion. So I think she's doing an extraordinary job. And I think she's doing more and more as well. You know, she's really sort of holding people's attention. She's taking the platform. She's taking ownership of the charities that she wants to be involved with.
So she says, addiction is not a choice or a personal failing, but a complex mental health condition that should be met with empathy and support. Samara, she's tackling serious issues.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, you know, when she speaks, people actually listen. And I think she actually understands the massive platform that she has. She is one of the most beloved royals on all the charts.
I totally agree. And if you look back at the engagement interview that Tom Bradby did with them, she was very hesitant. She was nervous, and she kept looking at William, just almost seeking approval. And now she's a superstar in her own right. Yeah. She really has taken ownership. So I totally agree with what you said.
I think they've both grown up. I was with William in Brazil a couple of weeks ago, and I was out there. It just felt more mature. The whole house feels a little bit more mature and comfortable at the moment. Although William was having fun this week in North Wales. Did you see William? He was playing pool. He went to North Wales and he was looking to some community groups, and he was playing a bit of pool, and he was hanging out with. He went to a comedy workshop.
Oh yeah, yeah, that works for him. He is the funniest royal in my opinion.
Well, we might get onto that later. And finally, for this segment, it's with a heavy heart I want to talk about Meghan's festive special, because I know that next Wednesday we're going to have to sit down and watch it. But there's been a trailer, Samara. Have you watched the trailer? I
have, and yeah, she looks like a crazed forest nymph, just sort of running through the running through the pine trees, and it's all. The only thing that's missing is her family or any sense of family. It's a bunch of people on the payroll of Netflix and different fake friends that she's invited.
You say not just the family. Prince Harry's in the trailer.
Well, that's the one person. It's going to be quite a lonely Christmas in Montecito when she's surrounded by just her children who have never met their cousins and Harry, because they're estranged from everyone else. And I've got time, by the way, for estranged families. It's a very normal thing. Everyone's got a crazy uncle or a mum that they don't want to associate themselves with. But I just hate the fakery of it. Don't pretend that you're having this wholesome Christmas. I want a bit of realism from Meghan. She's not giving any of it.
But she's still getting paid to do it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
She brought in Harry for the trailer. Is that what this show needs? I think they're kissing, weren't they? They were having a little kiss in the thing. Is that what the show needs?
I think it just smacks of desperation, Matt, doesn't it? You know, what's she going to do next? You know, will Harry appear in the actual series? Is he just having a tiny segment in for the trailer, and then that's it, and we won't see any more of him?
Well, surely a festive special should have family.
One would like to think so, but who knows with her? I shall be glued to my Netflix TV next week to watch it and see what she comes up with, because she's got to pull something out of the bag.
There's also an advert at the end, I believe, to buy her jam, Samara. Have you seen that? And then I believe part of the trailer, she's made an edible wreath out of broccoli and greens.
Ew. Yeah, exactly. First of all, no, like, where are the potatoes, where are the carbs? Because that's what my Christmas looks like. It doesn't look like, you know, greens and a random dip that's probably low fat. I just think that, yeah, first of all, it's sort of not cordon bleu that she's gone and done that. There's no culinary excellence within this cooking program, even though she kind of pretends to be that. And in terms of the jam, it's 20% off, Black Friday sale at the moment. I don't want this to look like an advertisement for it, but she's very eager to shift that jam. It didn't sell out immediately on a second or third drop. So I think she's having plenty of issues because she told Bloomberg that she's, ordered hundreds of thousands of units because they kept selling out. They haven't managed to sell that out. So I guess if this is one last ditch effort to get rid of that jam, good for her. But I think it's the last that we'll see of her on Netflix. She's cozied up to Jeff Bezos at Kris Jenner's birthday party. She's looking for the next prospect. Yeah, this might be the last we see of her on that streaming platform.
And then next week, just looking forward a little bit further, we have the release of her new show, and I keep mixing up. Is it called With Love or As Ever? With Love.
With Love.
Called With
yeah.
Love, and the product's As Ever, because the brand is so superfluous. I really struggle. But a couple of days later, Princess of Wales will be holding her carol concert at Westminster. So Christmas does feel like it's starting now. The royals are starting Christmas.
Yeah, and I love the Westminster Abbey carol concert that the Princess of Wales started, and I think it means something really important to her. And it's a real family occasion. You have the wider royal family, apart from Andrew and Sarah, turning up. And I just think it feels like Christmas. It feels really special.
We're nearly there. Right, we've just got time for quick-fire questions. So take a deep breath. Prince William, as I said earlier, visited a comedy workshop. But which royal would be the best stand-up comic?
I mean, I would say, I know I said William, but also the late Philip, Prince Philip. But I just don't, I don't know.
Not good way.
Yeah, not in a good way. I don't know if it'd be safe. He'd probably get cancelled after one set, but I did think he was hilarious at the time.
Well, you must have worked with Philip. You must have heard some
I
stand-up
sure
comedy.
have. I've got many stories to tell
back me
about
up.
that. But I think Zara and Mike Tyndall, actually, I think they'd be a good double act on the comedy circuit.
That's quite a good idea.
Yeah,
good answers.
Get them on.
Now, after the reports that Sarah Ferguson is shopping around for a sit-down interview, which royal would you like to quiz in a tell-all interview?
I want, but Meghan. I need Meghan to actually sit down with a proper journalist. She keeps sitting down with podcast hosts and CEOs and different people who aren't actually journalists. I want her to be properly interrogated, not in a crazy, torturous way, but I want some
Thanks for
proper.
clearing that up.
Well, I want some proper questions. I want some proper questions flung her direction. That I want something bolshy.
I think Prince George.
Ooh.
What's it like being an emerging, leading member of the royal family? What school do you want to go to, George? What are your parents really like when the doors are closed?
Ooh.
God, imagine that. He's only 12.
And it doesn't matter.
Which is perfect because he won't lie,
Yeah.
You have to give
And he won't be schooled.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince George.
Wow, what a great idea. I keep going to recommend saying I just want George to grow up. I think it's too early. I just want him to be a boy. I want him to go around, get dirty, fall over, get in fights, play football, break your leg or something. You know what I mean? Just want to go and have fun before we actually...
And then someone feed those stories to you.
Oh, yes, please, if anyone is. Right, and finally, I mentioned about the broccoli and green wreath, okay? So after Meghan's weird edible wreath preview, what royal would you want to help with your Christmas dinner preparation?
Ooh.
Queen Camilla, definitely, because I think she'd have a fag in one hand and a glass of red wine in the other, and her son Tom is a food critic, so she obviously knows her way around a kitchen. She was an army wife, so I think she'd be great. She'd be a bit of a laugh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she'd be great. I'd say Charles. I know he's a health nut and he's a bit of a freak with all his food, and he wants specific food at specific times. But I think he'd be very helpful, and he'd be out in the garden getting me all the carrots and things that I need for my roast.
I was thinking you mentioned George earlier. I remember a couple of years ago he was making Christmas pudding, wasn't he?
Yeah.
With Catherine and William. Yeah, I'd like to have Prince George come around and help make Christmas pudding. And then I'll do the interview.
And then do the interview. Perfect. Job done.
Thanks, guys. We've been through a lot, so I really appreciate you coming on.